So we need to talk about the finals.
Thing, yeah, it's not looking good, Bev. It's not looking.
Peaking at over 242,000 concurrent players and now sitting at just barely 11,000 daily on the Steam charts, give or take a few thousand. On console, I'm not entirely sure the player base, but I can't believe it's much higher. If I'm being honest, the finals to me has always been a game that's just purely fun. Have you ever had those games that you can just pick up, get on with some friends, get on by yourself and just have some fun? That's the finals to me. It's a game with amazing visuals, amazing gameplay, amazing overall just presentation and community, but it does have its glaring issues, which I feel is incredibly impacting the player base, and that's what I'm going to get into right now. One of the biggest controversies of this game is the competitive scene, or rather the lack thereof a competitive scene. I honestly feel like no one in this game really takes the rank seriously for really lack of a big competitive scene slash esport presence at all in the game. The game's version of a ranked game mode in cash out. To me, ranked has always been fun since season 1 when I started up the ranked mode and I saw the whole tournament bracket. That part to me was just dope. Fighting your way through squad after squad after squad to get to the finals, the actual final of the finals, was always just a sick moment, especially when doing it with friends. But ever since season 1, it's lost a bit of its novelty, and especially with the new terminal attack mode getting into ranked and the controversy behind that. Some players hate it, some players love it. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I much prefer the other game mode. But coming from that feeling to what it is now, it has lost some of its pizzazz, if you will. The rank not really being taken serious, I feel like has to do with that. It feels like the game doesn't necessarily know where it wants to take its ranked, doesn't necessarily know whether it wants to be a casual shooter or a serious shooter, and the players reflect that. In my opinion, I feel like 9 times out of 10, the players you play with on a regular basis, unless you have a full stack, will either be completely messing around or take the game completely not serious at all. Now for me, the actual gameplay loop of the game and the gameplay itself has to be some of the best I've played in a long time. Coming from developers from DICE, the guys who worked on Battlefield, the original good Battlefield before whatever 2042 is. And Battlefield 1 was kind of good, actually, I'm not gonna lie. But whatever 2042 and whatever Battlefield is now, before all that, there was good Battlefield. And that's where these developers come from. They split off from DICE, made Embark, and have now come out with this beautiful game that I feel honestly has some of the best gameplay I've ever played in a shooting game in the past couple years. The gunplay itself is amazing. The feeling that you get when wiping a squad is just euphoric. This game is honestly a gem. Majority of the players are here to rank up and get better at the game and progress and prove that you're one of the better players. That's how most of these competitive shooters go. But when it comes to the finals, if you just don't like terminal attack and you just play cash out, eventually you will get burned out, and eventually you will get bored of the same game mode over and over again. I've experienced it myself. From season 1, I played the crap out of this game. I just non-stop just played the finals. I couldn't believe how fun it was. I couldn't believe all the destruction you could do. It really felt like the first new generation shooter. but I then found myself getting bored and I fell off from season 2, have come back for season 3 with the new changes, and me personally, I've been having a blast with the game again, but how long will it last till people are burnt out of the game again? And I feel like that is a serious situation that Embark needs to take account of and needs to address. With that being said though, I'm not sure where Embark would take it per se. I honestly feel like the game has a solid game mode and I don't really see how they would differentiate from it. If you guys have any idea how they would differentiate from it or how they would come up with better game modes that may cast a bigger net and include more players that may enjoy it, leave in the comments down below your guys' opinion. But I truly feel that burnout is the #1 killer of this game. People just getting over the one game mode. As fun as the gameplay is and as fun as the destruction is, it is just one game mode at the end of the day that the majority of the player base enjoys playing, along with Bank It. I almost forgot about Bank It. Bank It is also, the token game mode. But with just Bank It and Cash Out, there's only so much fun that can be had for long periods of time before you are eventually burned out. And then I've also heard the stance of content creators just leaving the finals on its own. And when it comes to that to me is inevitable. In any game that comes and goes, any game that isn't the #1 game of the world, that doesn't become, as huge as something like Apex Legends was, as something as Fortnite was, people are gonna come and go. The few that love the game are going to stay, are gonna make content, and in the world that we live in now, content and social media and influencers are king. The games that are being pushed by the Kai Cenats, the Jinxies, the big names in the gaming sphere, in the streaming sphere, are the games that are going to have those player bases explode and continue to thrive throughout time. But I don't necessarily see that as a huge negative, and let me explain. The players that are here that love the game, its core audience has been obtained, and the ones who are not, really rocking with it, maybe we're just there for the hype and leave, have left. Now would just stay the passionate people for the game, the people who want to see the game strive, and those people with that passion is what I feel like Embark wants as their core player base, and that's who they're making this game for. My hopes for the game moving forward is honestly that Embark just doesn't give up on the game. I feel like way too many times, so many games go just completely under the radar of people. These game developers who put their heart and soul into these games and actually make good products, unlike these big corporations that are just greedy. Don't get me wrong, Embark has their monetization going on, but it's nowhere as egregious as Ubisoft and EA's of the gaming sphere, you know what I'm saying? And I truly feel that this is a game that has the core fundamentals, the core base to be an amazing shooter. They just need to expand a bit more, if you will, kind of find that itch that needs to be scratched with the competitive part of the game, but also the casual side. And I know it's going to be tricky. I know it is. I'm not a game developer by any means, and I'm not saying it's easy whatsoever, but I'm going to be playing this game for the long haul, and I just really do not want to see this game squandered or squashed because they weren't able to fix the problems they have now, and the game just completely falls off. Embark puts so much effort into the community. They have their YouTube channel, which I don't know if you guys have checked out, but they even post highlights of just players, good plays, and that to me is a development team who is involved in the community, who cares about how their players see their game. They care about all the cool stuff you can do in the game, and they just really are interested in how this game is received by their players. It's a team that actually wants the game to succeed, not just seeing the game as a cash cow or anything like that. And they're still rolling out updates. They're still rolling out battle passes. They're still rolling out season updates. And I hope that persists and that stays, and that is nowhere near the end for Embark, which I don't believe it will be. I think they still will be supporting this game for the long haul. I don't see them just giving up on it. As much effort that I've seen them put into this game, I do not see them just ending the support for the game anytime soon. But I do fear that if eventually nothing changes with the player numbers and the player numbers just keep falling lower and lower, this will eventually become a lost gem of a game that will just be remembered by a small few who sadly will just have the faint memory of that one game. Oh, the finals, remember that game that was so dope? What happened to it, you know? But that's just my 2 cents. Let me know in the comments what you guys think below. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, all hopes to Embark, all love to Embark. I hope this game succeeds. I hope they make their bag, and I hope the game moves into an even better direction. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching the channel. Be on the lookout for more finals gameplay coming up here soon. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Was I completely in the wrong? Was I completely right? Do you guys like the terminal attack game mode? Do you guys think competitive needs to be more pander to maybe the casual scene? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. But anyways, I hope you guys have a beautiful, amazing, blessed day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you.